Netanyahu just nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, despite Trump bombing Iran. But what's important is that this comes at the same time that Netanyahu has visited the U.S. for the first time since the U.S. bombed Iran a few weeks ago. Now, I'll start off with what we know so far. Last night, Trump had dinner with Netanyahu, and at that dinner, they talked about a potential ceasefire in Gaza. In fact, the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu spoke about what he'd like Gaza to become once the war is over. And he said, quote, "Gaza shouldn't be a prison. It should be a free and open place which gives people a free choice." In short, he said that he wants Palestinians to be able to leave Gaza once it's been rebuilt, which is actually one of the first times he's ever said that. I'm sure you know, but for decades whilst he's been in charge, he's never allowed Palestinians to leave Gaza. In fact, he's always believed that they should go to other countries rather than into Israel. But anyways, after they stopped talking about having a ceasefire in Gaza, they started talking about Iran and the U.S. airstrikes on Iran a few weeks ago. Obviously, a few weeks ago, the U.S. carried out massive airstrikes onto Iran's nuclear facilities, and they claimed that they completely destroyed them. It almost caused a massive war in the Middle East, as I'm sure you know. But Trump said to Netanyahu, quote, "Iran is much more different than they were 2 weeks ago, and now they want to work something else." Now, if I'm honest with you, it's likely these meetings actually were more symbolic than anything. It's very unlikely they actually achieved anything. They were more just talking about what's happening rather than actually trying to fix anything. To be fair, I don't think much is going to change from this, but it's still worth knowing about because Netanyahu has visited the U.S.